Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to this afternoon's startup presentations. My name is Verity MacDonald, and I'm Operations Manager at Connector Startup Accelerator. Connector is an acceleration program based here in Barcelona, although we have presence in other regions in Spain as well. We're in 5 locations, actually. Madrid, Barcelona, the Canary Islands, Palma, and Galicia. It was launched in 2013, and since that date we've run over 30 programs for seed stage startups, all of them with a digital or a technical product. And 180 startups have passed through our program. Some of them you would recognize the names of, others are less well known, but still successful. And we're very proud of the fact that 70% of those startups that have come through our program are still alive. So it's a 6-month program where we help them in terms of mentoring, trainings, workshops, events, networking, and fundraising. And each of the startups that goes through our program gets a specific board of mentors, which they're able to choose themselves. So the part of mentoring is what differentiates us from other acceleration programs. We have a network of over 300, I think now it's 330 or so mentors, both from the world of entrepreneurship as from the corporate world as well, in all kinds of different sectors, and each of them experts in their area. And the startups are able to choose which mentors they work with. So they get a really, really strong and powerful advisory board of mentors that accompany them all the way through the program. So we see a lot of startups come through our program. We also arrange a lot of startup competitions and pitch events like this one. So I'm very excited to see the startups that are going to be presenting this afternoon. I think they're in the growth stage, so a little bit more advanced than the projects that we usually see. But of course, if any of them are interested in the program, we'd be more than happy to speak to them after the event. And without further ado, we're going to start with the very first company to present, which is going to be InMotion Labs. So I'm going to invite Martin to come up and take the stage.
No, just use this one. Can I have my slides? Okay, thank you. So thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Martin. I'm representing InMotion. InMotion is the company that does protection of valuable real estate, namely parking places. This one comes from Warsaw in Poland. To park your car over there during the day costs you approximately 70 cents. The business hours from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., some 10 business hours per weekday. They're practically occupied all the time, so they should generate €5 per day, €25 per week, 1.3k euros per year. We have 330,000 spaces in Warsaw, so this kind of income is expected. The real one, 40 million euros from the fees, plus additional 3 million from fines, from tickets. Why? Because people do not pay for their parking time. This is the first thing. Second thing, there are too little parking enforcement officers that can actually validate if someone paid for their parking space or not. We provided solution for this kind of problem. This is mobile ANPR scanner, so mobile park enforcement device. You mount it on the top of the vehicle, you drive around the city, and you can automatically check whether the parking fee has been introduced. It is as efficient as 10 parking enforcement officers operating. What's important, it has 5 centimeters GPS accuracy, so we can detect the center of the plate with this kind of accuracy. 95% of plates we detect, and you can drive it up to 50 kilometers per hour. It works during the day as well as during the night. As provided in this video, this is actually from the day. As you can see, the car is driving pretty fast. During the night, also within 50 kilometers per hour, you can detect every plate and check whether it paid for parking or not. It works automatically. The driver just needs to press this green start button and it starts working. Nothing more is expected from the driver. Just drive around the city and check the plates. And we anonymize everything because we are GDPR compliant, except of the plate of interest, the green box over there. Everything else, people, other plates are anonymized and then sent to the place where the city or the operator wishes us to send. There are anonymized data sent using our API. All the anonymization is happening on the edge, so at the rooftop. This car, particular deployment on the electric vehicle, this is electric Nissan Leaf with our solution on top of it. 2 of such vehicles we deployed in Warsaw in Poland. We won the tender last year, being first of all most efficient, most accurate and the cheapest solution which was competing in the city. The procedure of the tender took 12 months. As you can see, our offer was of 500k euros. This is the offer for 2 vehicles included and 3 years of maintenance. The starting price for the solution itself is just approximately 100k euros. So if you are the parking operator, if you are a city interested in increasing the fees from the parking space in your city, please feel welcome. We are located at stand 102, Street B. This is this hall. And also our email address, it's info@ampereinmotion.io. Should you have any questions right now, and if not, thank you very much for your attention.
Great, thank you, Martin. So the next startup to present is going to be a smart lock and dock. Can I invite Bernard, please?
Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you a very short history lesson about space in cities. In 1935, cities got crowded with cars. And somebody invented a parking meter. Any size car you could charge the space for. We move on to 2004, and I was the first person in the world to introduce bike share into London in 2004, operated by mobile phones. Now we move forward to 2019, and I will show you the next stage in space saving in any city. This is a film. Sorry about the history, but it'll give you an idea of where we are today. This film was made in 2004, and right, the intelligent bike stand. We've moved on 15 years, and we still have the same problems. The problem that that lady identified was, how do you move the bikes to where they wanted? So the solution at the moment is 3 different types.
Bernard, I'm afraid you have to finish up if you can. I'm afraid we run out of time.
We now have the intelligent bike stand and...
You can finish up and just use the
Sorry, excuse me. So we have here the world's first intelligent bike stand, operated by a Bluetooth app and a Bluetooth lock, and we can run rental bikes out of this, we can park meter bikes out of this, we can do scooters as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bernard. Fantastic. So the next startup that we have up to present is Immense Simulation Startup, presented by Geoff Ruxton. Geoff.
Great. Okay, thank you. So my name's Geoff Ruxton. I work for a company called Immense Simulations. So just a quick overview. We're a UK-based software company. We're about 40 people at the moment and growing quite rapidly. And what we're trying to do is to improve decision-making across the entire transport ecosystem, and particularly relying on new technologies and new data that's available to improve decision-making, make it more accurate and faster. And our decision-making platform's being used by a range of global partners across the ecosystem, so automotive companies and in the transport and energy sector. I've got a couple of examples along the bottom, but people such as Highways England, who need to manage the motorway network in the UK, helping them to manage congestion and air quality, working for Transport for London to optimise roadworks to reduce the impact on congestion in the city. A few projects such as Merge Greenwich or Addison Lee, working with one of the largest taxi companies in London, and also Endeavour project, also in London, looking to trial autonomous vehicles on the streets of London from next year. And also some work with BP, looking at scenario testing for new mobility hubs and how the petrol stations of the future might use electric charging. Just a quick slide in terms of global reach. So we're based in the UK, offices in London, Milton Keynes. We actually have a research and development centre down the road in Barcelona. UK offices in Detroit and Silicon Valley, particularly working with car manufacturers there, and expanding operations, Japan, Asia and the Middle East, particularly at the moment. So this is the key problem statement. The mobility systems or mobility value chain is very much up for grabs. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of disruption, and a lot of changes happening fast to traditional mobility operators, car manufacturers transitioning, or also new players in the market. And on the other side, we have infrastructure owners and operators who are trying to cope with this disruption. And there's a lot of fragmentation between these two sides of the solution. And increasingly, with the fast pace of disruption, every decision really matters. So what we do is create digital representations of cities, so getting data from mobile phone data, open data, map data to create a digital version of city. We then allow users to configure different mobility services, rideshare, car share, electric, autonomous, look at infrastructure changes, so adding new lanes to roads, new motorway systems, or the impact of roadworks or incidents on the network. We have an agent-based simulation that models all of the people, vehicle movements in the city, and run the simulation in the cloud, which allows for faster computation. And the key thing is we provide users with dashboards, web-based interfaces, so they get KPIs on information for strategic planning or operational use cases, rather than detailed reports where they can't look at a large number of scenarios. So I've just got two very quick videos. This first one is showing a typical application that we build for control centers. In this one, it's looking at if we have a live incident or a planned incident, maybe a lane's taken out from roadworks, an operator tool that allows them to, in a very simple way, in a map interface, configure this disruption on the network, and actually then push it to the cloud to run an agent-based simulation. This is actually based in Birmingham, so particular use cases, if they have lots of conference events like the one today, what's the impact on the network going to be?
You have 1 minute left, Geoff.
Thank you. So we then allow you to run the simulation in the cloud and pull out key performance information, travel time between junctions, impact on air quality, etc., and crucially see this for every interval through the day. I suggest you come to our stand, B101, to talk a bit more about this, but this is the sort of fleet simulation tool where we're looking at ride-share services, car-share services, and crucially, car manufacturers and service providers can test this in a digital environment before actually rolling out in a new location or scaling. So a couple of key advantages of our solution. It's very user-friendly, so accessible to a wider range of stakeholders, not just technical specialists. We provide simulation as a service, that's the business model, so people can easily access it. We allow for very rapid decision cycles. You can look at multiple scenarios in minutes rather than hours or days. We're starting to build an effective ecosystem and indeed quantify a lot of the benefits for some of our clients. Thank you very much, and please come visit us.
So next up we have a company called Magna, presented by Levi Zura.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Levi. I'm the CTO of the Magna company and its spin-off, the Foresight company. Magna is dealing mainly and active in the security field and developed a highly sophisticated detection device. And the spin-off company took this device into the ADAS and autonomous vehicle driving. This special technology, and you can see here several applications, is based on the stereoscopic detection. Is to say, detecting with two cameras, it is a kind of replica of the human being vision. This technology gives us several features. The main of them is discarding all unwanted targets and false alarms. And as you can see here, you have several different applications from information on the road to drones detection, intruder detection, VIP plane securing, etc., etc.
Noah?
What? I can't move it. Next. Well, sorry for this intermittent. Oh. My clock is running on, so not go. So let's go on with the presentation. Very soon we'll see. Oh, no, this is the first one. Still the first one. Oh, actually, the new application that you can see here from the same technology is in fact the crossroad with a road and railways. On the right side, we have an abnormal detection. Everybody is crossing, but there is one guy on a bike, another one running. You will see that in the clip very soon. Law enforcement, detection of cars which are stopping. Suppose you have an area where it is forbidden to stop, not allowed to do it. Parking monitoring. Here you can see a car occupying two places instead of one. And in the back, we have traffic flow monitoring in Spain, in Madrid mainly. It works?
Yes, but it goes the opposite way.
Okay. Opposite way? Oh. Well, you can see this clip, for instance, illustrating the counting of cars and monitoring flow traffic. It is one of our projects we performed in Madrid, in Spain, here. As you can see, each lane is counted separately, as we can know exactly how many cars were in every lane, and this may be for monitoring, and monitoring also the lights, the traffic lights. And also, we know how to differentiate between a private car, a truck, a bus, any other kind of different vehicles. Here it was the picture we saw before. This car is stopping in an area which is not allowed to do so. So we have immediately this detection, and an alert is given when it is stopping. Here also, when the car stops, we can see that everything that, well, it was too short. Parking monitoring, as you can see, wrong monitoring, or some activity around the cars which is not allowed to do so. Criminal activity among them.
Levy, you have 1 minute left.
Law enforcement. Here also when crossing a full white line. At each crossing, an alert is given. Here we can see the crossroad between a railway and a road. Only the vehicles are taken into account. Very soon you will see a pedestrian. The pedestrian will not be detected. Well, it is detected but not counted. Here our guy. First time it's walking. This is a project performed with the Railway Authority in Israel. By the way, the counting is exact, about 1% of error. Just to see if the clip is off. I don't remember. Maybe it is off. By the way, if you are for more information and more details on our technology, you are kindly invited to our booth here, 20 minutes from here, Magna booth. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Larry. So the next company to be presenting will be Smalley with Hector Martin.
Sí, lo veo. 3 minutes. Sorry, there's a mistake with the clock. Anyway, okay. This is Hector Martin from Smalley Technologies, the CEO and founder of the company. I'm going to present our project. Before starting, however, I would like to point out this question. Today, I don't know if you knew, but more than 50% of the fish consumption all over the world already comes from aquaculture, from fish farms, instead of fisheries, okay? And every year, this increases by 5 or 6%, okay? There are more than 19 million fish farmers in the world. So, we are a spin-off of University of Barcelona, and we have developed these products to real-time monitoring of different parameters, like dissolved oxygen, temperature, pH, turbidity, salinity. These parameters are critical for the health of the fish and therefore for the productivity of the farms, okay? We also have developed this kind of buoys to measure for marine fish farms, not just for land-based. So all the farmers can take this mobile phone and control and monitor these kind of environmental parameters and control their farm on the PC, tablet, or cell phone, etc. Our business model is quite simple because we can get some revenues for selling the devices, the equipment, or renting it, and sell the data for the farmers, and getting some revenues for the maintenance of the equipment or the data transmission. Okay? So nowadays we have sold and installed some products in Spain, also in marine fish farms in the Mediterranean or the Canary Islands, or in the land fish farms in the north of Spain. And if we are here in this Smart City Expo, is because we know that our devices can be of valuable in other sectors, all these sectors related with water quality, of course. So for the next years, we want to sell our products in Europe and in the north of Africa. We have been also in Algeria, Tunisia, and some other countries. And for the next year especially, we are going to Chile. Chile is the second biggest market in aquaculture after Norway in the world. So great opportunity for us. And we are now looking for investors. We have an open investment round, looking for 200,000 euros of private investment, especially for the commercial, to develop all the commercial model of the company. Okay, well, the goal is to be profitable in 2 years, and after that, continue growing. And our team is made of 7 people today. Obviously, we are very focused on the technical side, but also we have developed some business and sales skills in the last years. Okay. And we have the support of some counselors, both from the technical side and the business side, and institutional support because we have got some awards Repsol and other companies, and the financial support of the European Commission or the Spanish agencies like CDTI or ENISA. So if you want to know more about our project or think of making investment in a great project, please visit us down there, close to the coffee tables. We will be very pleased to show you more details about our project, and please do not miss this great trip. Thank you very much for listening.
Right, next up we have a startup called Look At, presented by Yelena Kokoza. Yelena, are you here? Yelena, last call. Huh? This is not Yelena, this is Luca.
So I'm not Yelena, I'm Luca. Hi everyone. So we are Lookat and we are building next generation urban products for the tourism industry. So did you know that more than 300 people have died while trying to take a selfie in the last 10 years? So that's 300 people dead over a photo. So people are willing to die for a like on social media. But this got me to another problem. Imagine a group of friends here in Barcelona. They're trying to take the picture of themselves in front of Sagrada Familia. So what are the options? They can ask a passerby to take the picture for them. They can take a selfie with or without a selfie stick or some other gadget. Or someone out of their group needs to take the photo only to be left out of it. Are these options really a solution? I don't think so. This is why we created Look At, the world's first smart solar photo column. It is a renewable energy, fully autonomous, standing design sculpture that gets tourists the best possible photo in front of the attraction in no time. Tourists connect to its Wi-Fi. He gets a live preview on his mobile phone. He can add augmented reality features as on this location. He presses the start button and 4 flawless pictures are automatically saved to his mobile phone gallery, after which he can send it as a personalized postcard, actual paper postcard to wherever in the world. We are the first one addressing the problem this way, which is why we don't have a direct competitor. Our indirect competition is selfie stick, drones, action cameras, photo booths, personal photographers, and so on. What differentiates us from all the rest is the fact that we have a unique housing, that we work on solar energy, and that we have a mobile app. So we make money by selling or leasing our physical product, by selling postcards through our app, and by selling advertising space both on our physical product and within our app. We have, in this short period of time, installed 7 units in our homeland, Croatia. We have more than 44,000 photos made through our columns, and the most important thing is that we gained experience and knowledge to build our product second, improved version, which is going to be a perfect market fit. I'm not supposed to show you this because we are planning to present our Solar Photo 3 the next year, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to introduce you our team. We cover all the area of business from project, from industrial engineering to electrical engineering, finance, tourism, architecture, development, and our advisors are from the United States. Our most recent accomplishment or milestone was $200,000 no equity investment from the EU fund. And if you want to know more about us, please look for us at our stand where you can talk with me or Yelena. Thank you.
Great, so moving on to the next startup, Eternity, presented by Juan Angel Ruiz.
Good afternoon. My name is Juan Ángel Ruiz. I'm from Eternity Online. We are a telecommunication startup, and I try to explain our solution, the solution that we have here for the smart city. The initial of the startup was my CEO have a dream, and he want to connect to the children of the world with the Reyes Magos, Santa Claus, and Papa Noel. What happened that to do this dream, to make this dream reality, they have to discover some technology that it wasn't working in the past. He discovered the WebRTC protocol. What is the different WebRTC protocol respect the other technology that we have currently? The first and the best one is that we have a communication in real time. This feature make that we can improve the audio and video communication, and we can reach an audio quality in 48 kilohertz and in video for 4K. This is the only protocol that can reach this level of quality. The other one is the delay. To make a video conference, it's very important to have a lower delay possible, and with this technology, the maximum that we have is 300 milliseconds. And if we have the server in the same country that the client, we have only 30 milliseconds of average. We can customize the solution because we have a product that is based in web service, so we can personalize it, to custom it for everything. The apps for mobile, the portal web, etc. The solution that we have here to present to the smart cities is a 37 grade citizen service. This solution make that the citizen start the process to can make some procedures or request information with the institution. We work with public administration, but we work too with companies because this solution is the same for the citizen that gave for customer. What win with this solution? First of all, experience customer higher. The second one is that we having to travel to the institution. The number three is that we don't wait large queue for make only an information. So we have an example is the Nulles Council project in Castellón here in Spain, and the citizen can request a date. When they request a date, in the second picture, you can say the agenda and select the free slot. And then you can select if the date is present at telephonic or by video conference.
You have 1 minute left.
Okay. You can make the position of the agent. You can configure the dates and the time that you can you want to attend the position. Then you make the video conference, and you have the customized app, and you can see entry, and then you can validate the attention that is very important for the public administration, value the service that provide to the citizen. As I said, you can say the kiosk, the portal web, and app. And to finish, other product that we have is the video conference rooms, customization, and complete and suggestion platform. Okay. For more information, we are near to the to the before opponent. Thank you.
So next up we have Wharf Coin, presented by Tony Coop. Tony, are you with us? Hi.
Awesome. Hello, my name is Tony Coop. I'm the founder of Wharf Coin, a cryptocurrency earned by contributing to weather forecasts. The way that you contribute is by either setting up an IoT station on your property to send in weather data from your property, or by contributing computing power to analyze that aggregated data set into air quality reports, 1 to 14-day forecasts, tides and currents in the ocean. All of those are created with Wharf models, algorithms used by meteorologists to analyze big data sets. So I see proof of work, Bitcoin's consensus mechanism, as its biggest problem. Right now, there's about 4 ingredients to Bitcoin's mechanism. First, there's a set of raw data. That's the contents in the block, all of the current transactions that have been mined for this block. Then each miner guesses a random number, and this is the problem with Bitcoin. They're guessing quadrillions of random numbers per second to try to find a hash that starts with a bunch of zeros. So the shared algorithm is that SHA-256 hashing algorithm. Then part 4 is once you guess that right random number, you can publish that to the network and open the next block and send yourself 12.5 Bitcoin, about $100,000 worth of value. So the problems with proof of work is it's extremely computationally heavy, quadrillion guesses per second cumulatively across the entire network. It's wasteful of computing power. We need to be doing something way more important with our computing power than guessing random numbers. So what should we do with all of that computing power? Bitcoin is difficult to scale. Right now it's confirming about 7 transactions per second. Visa, more than 1,000 transactions per second. So another big problem with Bitcoin's proof of work, it's a winner-take-all model, and I don't think that's going to work for the entirety of the world. So Wharfcoin, like I mentioned, gathers raw data from IoT stations, collects computing power from a distributed network, and produces valuable analysis published for free for everybody to use and access. I also have big beliefs in privacy. There are some shortcomings with the Bitcoin network. It's not as private as people would really like it to be. So Wharfcoin is a crowdsourced environmental monitoring platform. So if we want to get rid of proof of work, random number guessing, what is the new algorithm going to look like? Well, it's called proof of publishing. Very similarly to Bitcoin, there's a set of raw data, not just the contents of the block, the current transactions, but also aggregated IoT weather data. From that, miners are going to weight those data sets and manipulate the algorithm to try to produce the most accurate forecast for their region. There's a shared algorithm. Those are the Wharf models themselves, the weather, research, and forecasting algorithms. From those 3 ingredients, you have a verifiable report. Anybody should be able to produce that exact same analysis with those 3 ingredients. So, random number guessing, wasteful. Producing weather forecasts and publishing it for the good of the world, that is a reasonable use of computational power. Another big point of proof of publishing is that all honest participants are rewarded. Like I said, Bitcoin is winner take all. In proof of publishing, all honest participants are rewarded. So if you're sending in raw weather data, your reward is weighted based on proximity to neighbors. Up in northern Canada, there's not enough weather stations. In New York City, there's plenty. So if you're sending in raw weather data from New York City, we're going to pay you less than if you're sending in raw weather data from northern Canada. If you're producing analysis, you don't get Wharfcoin upon publishing it, but upon the expiration of the forecast, so we can give it an accuracy score and reward the forecasters that are producing the best forecasts.
You have 1 minute left.
Awesome. So I'm not here to look for investors. I'm doing this the Bitcoin way, which is no ICO, no STO, no IEO. No pre-mine, no token sale. If you want virgin Wharfcoin, you've got to mine them yourself. I'm bootstrapping this, blood, sweat, and tears, family money. I'm not looking for equity, not looking to raise money. This is a project that I'm doing myself, and it's hopefully for the best of the world. So I would love for all of you to reach out and contact me. This is my LinkedIn QR code. I'm hoping to make some good connections here and help bring this idea to the world. Thank you very much for your time.
Fantastic. So now we're going to hear from Guy Ron, who's going to be presenting XR Vision.
Hi everyone, my name is Guy Ron, I'm the CEO of XR Vision, and we do video analytics for active mobility road safety. So the company is Singaporean, we do a bunch of analytics in the world in the area of smart city and transportation. You can see some of the illustrations here, but I'm going to talk today specifically about active mobility devices. So active mobility devices, you all know what it is, right? It's the e-scooters and e-bike and tricycles and all sorts of those devices of the world. 10 years ago was pretty boring, right? We had only some of the human-powered devices and a motorbike. And in the last 10 years, there's a huge revolution, and a lot of those devices are now filling our streets. With all those devices come into play the issue of risk, right? Those devices do not come free. They come with a cost, and the cost is the risk. So what are the risks? The risk is safety of the rider and safety of the pedestrian. And I'm sure all of you from any city you are, any country you are, reading on a daily basis about casualties, about incidents, and about other issues that were caused by active mobility devices. So what countries in the world are now doing, and cities as well, are starting with regulation. And what is regulation? Regulation typically starts with what are we allowing to ride, certain scooters and so forth, where, maybe on footpaths or maybe on roads and so forth. What will be the maximum speed limit? Are we asking the rider to wear anything, turn on the light, and so forth and so forth? There's a bunch of regulation coming up. And walking out of Singapore, we are one of the first countries to come up with those regulations. Now, when you have a regulation, a booklet of rules, how do you actually enforce it? Right? There's no speed cameras on the street that are designed to catch violations of e-scooters. So manually is not an option, right? And we are in a smart city event, so we won't mention anything about manual. So the only way is to use an AI, and we picked the video analytics to do that. Now, our solution is basically developed in the last year and a half for the Singapore country, now expanding into other countries. And it's doing an automated enforcement of road safety for all active mobility devices, starting from speed to the type of the lane and so forth and so forth. Our solution is software-based, can run on basically, or using any type of camera, even a $100 camera on a lamppost. Any type of hardware, edge or server-based, and any weather condition and lighting condition, almost any. So if you have a very tough visibility, it might not work, but in most cases it will. Let's see a short video that showcasing how this solution is being used today in Singapore. So you can see that using video analytics, in this case we have a camera mounted on a lamppost. We can detect in high accuracy and classify what are we seeing, as well as calculate the speed. Now, anyone who's not in the field of video analytics might not be impressed, but in the world of computer vision, calculating a speed with a $100 camera mounted anywhere, right? No control, not a controlled environment, it's pretty hard to do. When we catch all those violations, we surface them into a very nice web portal that we have. We can see the metadata of each one, where they're wearing a helmet, where they turning off their light. We can see the screenshot, and we can see even a small snippet showing the actual offense or violation. We can see everything on the map as well, right? Each violation, where it happens. We can query the data and so forth. This is in production today in Singapore in hundreds of cameras and coming into many other cities. So if you have any interest in introducing that into your country, if your city or country come up with regulation and all of the cities are coming to regulation, that's the way to enforce that regulation. Happy to show a live demonstration at the Singapore Pavilion. There's a guy with the best job in the expo. He's the test rider for the e-scooter, and he's doing live demos at the pavilion. Or come by our booth at 102, and we can show you some more videos and share some more details. Thank you very much for your time. Happy to take it to the next level. Bye.
Right, now we're going to hear from Camila González Arango about her mobility startup Spare.
Yep. Okay. Hello, my name is Camila. I work with Spare. We are an on-demand mobility platform, and I'm going to tell you about how we integrate our solution into mobility as a service solutions. So first, I would like to introduce a little bit about what we do. So the Spare platform is a system that allows to plan, operate, and analyze an on-demand transport network in seconds. So we highlight the in seconds part because the idea is to make it really easy for the operator to manage and to operate the on-demand transport. And by on-demand transport, I mean, for those who are not like related in mobility, is like a pooled service that is requested by an app or by a phone call in real time. So this is like what it looks like, the platform. It's a little bit light, but more or less you can see that you set up a zone, and within this zone you can manage and configure the service, like the number of vehicles that you have, the number of services, the schedule, where the pickup and the drop-off points are, if it's door-to-door or if it's virtual stops. And as I said, it's very easy to set up and to manage on a daily basis. And I wanted to tell you about our biggest use case. We have right now our biggest operation in North America, but we're expanding into Europe at the moment. So we have this operation in Dallas. It's a 14th zone for first and last mile service that connects with the public transport network. Right now it's the biggest of its kind in North America, and it's available either as a standalone app, white labeled, which we provide, but also it's integrated into the public transport mobility as a service app, which is something that everyone talks about, but actually very few are actually doing it at the moment. So I would like to illustrate it with an example to make it a little bit clearer. So this would be Elizabeth. She works in a bank, but she also has a degree at night. So she commutes a lot, not to go to work and then from work to uni. And then if she would like to do this by public transport, let's say she goes to Google Maps and then she finds out that it takes her about an hour to go by train. And there's the option of the VTC, either Lyft or Uber. Of course, it's half the time, but it's going to be a little bit too expensive to commute daily with this solution. But that's why she uses the car mainly, no? And in the States, we know that cities are quite big and spread out. But she still wants to use some kind of public transport, no? She wants to be able to study during commuting, and she wants to leave the car at home. So what she can do right now at the mobility as a service provider in Dallas, which is GoPass, it will provide her with the option of having our GoLink, which is our on-demand service for the first and the last segment of her trip. And it will be one like seamless intermodal trip connected with the train. And that is going to be way shorter than the only public transport option and way cheaper than the VTC option. This is what it would look like. It would be the first and the last stage on demand, which is pooled also, like she can have other passengers being picked up and connected with the train. And the good thing about this is that it's fully integrated into this app, so she can book request the pickup.
You have 1 minute
book
left.
the service, and actually pay for the service in the whole application. No need to switch applications to access both the public transport and the on-demand. So this is something that we're doing right now, and we are more than happy to start implementing this in Europe. Our stand is around the corner, so we'll be happy to talk to you about it. Please come visit us. Thank you.
Right, next up we have Nicoletta Favaretto presenting International IPR SME Help Desk.
So good evening, everybody, and thank you for being here, given the time. So my name is Nicoletta Favaretto, and I will present to you today the International Intellectual Property Right SME Help Desk. So we are not a startup, but we are an initiative funded by the European Union. And the idea and the main objective of this initiative is to provide to companies, to small and medium-sized enterprises and to startup, European ones, detailed information on how they can protect their intellectual property when they are doing business with counterparts in foreign regions or when they wish to establish in foreign countries. So you will see there are 4 help desks, a European help desk that deal with the single market, a help desk in Latin America, another one in China, and the 4th one on Southeast Asia help desk. The idea is to provide information on legislation, on intellectual property legislation in those countries for free. And why actually the European Union is funding this initiative? We often receive this question from companies because basically intellectual property is one of the main business assets of a company, and this is always and sometimes very often forgotten by companies. And the European Union wants European companies to be competitive in the market, and competitive both in the single market and in the third region. And of course, companies that has an IP strategy, an intellectual property strategy, and a strong intellectual property portfolio, they can attract investors and engage in research and development projects with third parties. All our services that we provide are provided for free. The main one is the helpline service. So you have experts available online, intellectual property experts, lawyers, that provide you with first-line assistance. We received queries for companies via email, and we reply within 3 working days in 5 different languages, as you can see. So we work in English, Spanish, German, French, and Portuguese. And type of questions are the simple: how I register my trademark abroad, what's the procedure, which are the costs to register my trademark in Colombia, in China, in Brazil, or how can I file, for example, for a patent application? Is it better to have a utility model? Shall I go for licensing? How can I grant, for example, exclusive use of my rights abroad? These are the type of questions that we receive, and we reply to these via email. So you will see on the website later on, there's either a registration form or an email, and you write to us. The second service that we provide is training. So you check on our website, we have lots of events. We provide the training for companies with a sectorial approach, so high IP for companies dealing with energy and environment, working in the smart city sectors. And we would like to invite you tomorrow to one training if you are interested in the Southeast Asia region, so Thailand, Indonesia, Cambodia, Vietnam. We will have a training section with an expert on intellectual property solution for companies working on smart cities in the Congress Centers 1 from 12 o'clock to 13 o'clock. If you're interested, you can find information in the Smart City Expo website. Lastly, but not least important, is the publication of material. So we often publish public either country fact sheet where you can find all the information on country legislation on IP, but also guide for companies to help them doing their business. So, for example, you will find a guide on how you can protect your invention and innovation when you participate at a trade fairs, because often trade fairs are the perfect occasion for other companies to
1 minute left.
to copycat. Thank you. So you can see, or with a sectorial approach, an infographic as well on opportunities for businesses in Latin America or in China and Southeast Asia. We work like this in a free way, confidential, so all the queries that we receive, they will not be disclosed. We have a strong data protection policy. And you can find all the information in the IPR hub, where then you will be redirected to the region of your interest, whether it's Latin America, where I'm working, or China or Southeast Asia. And if you want to receive more information, you can meet us as well in the startup area, where we have a dedicated booth with additional material. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much. Don't forget your bag. Yes. Right, next we're going to hear about image recognition startup Deep Solutions, presented by Oscar Serra Ruiz. Oscar, Deep Solutions. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. So now we're going to hear from Urbanico, presented by Yuval Shafrir. Not having much luck. Ah, you're here. Fantastic.
Perfect.
Sorry to
So
surprise
next,
you.
yeah, no worries. So hello everyone. My name is Yuval, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Urbanico. I want to take the next 5 minutes of your time to talk about the single most important problem of the future of cities, and it's the utilization of data. But before we're diving in, let's take a second to actually comprehend the true meaning of this word, data. So data is basically the fuel that drives the fourth industrial revolution. And just like water and oil before it, this economic enabler is rapidly becoming the most valuable commodity on the planet. Now, data is all around us and will soon drive most of the decisions we're taking on a daily basis. So from the way we commute, to where we live, all the way to how we make businesses. The urban environment is one of the most data-rich environments ever, as data is literally coming from everywhere. From the scooter rides we're all taking every day to our workplaces, through the IoT devices that manage our traffic, all the way to the police patrols that's guarding our neighborhood. Now, it's not a secret that cities are evolving. And in fact, the UN predicts that by 2050, 70% of the population will be living in cities, right? 70%. That puts such an unbearable pressure on city officials, right? On urban planners, city managers, mayors. You will be in charge of accommodating additional 2 billion people into an infrastructure that's already overblowing today. Now, municipalities have all the data to do so, but in order to succeed, they have to cooperate closely with private sector companies, and this is where the problem actually begins. Because the work methodologies of private sector are whole different than the public ones. While most municipalities are still based and run on those old legacy systems, private companies' infrastructure is based on the highest level of technologies, and their requirements and usage of data has complete different standards than what's currently available in the public sector. So, to make a long story short, הם פשוט לא מדברים באותה שפה, which probably most of you didn't understand because it was in Hebrew, a different language that most of the people here don't speak. So to bridge this gap, we've built Urbanico, the Google Translate of urban data. Our technology, led by my amazing CTO and partner, Kfir, which is somewhere over there, is guided by years of experience in A200, the most recognized unit in the intelligence forces of the IDF, where actually most of Israeli innovation is coming from. We've crafted together this amazing technology that takes unlimited amount of data sources and standardizing them according to the building blocks that are used by the most innovative companies on the planet. So think of us as the bees that basically takes the data from the municipal honeycomb and bring them to the developers that can use this data to develop many different type of services. Using our technology, municipalities will be able to bring the highest level of technological solutions to the residents in million different aspects. Public safety, urban mobility, public transportation are just a few examples for industries that can benefit a lot from the municipal data. We're currently working with some of the most innovative companies on the planet, companies like Instacart and Bird and Spin, and are cooperating closely with some of the most innovative cities in the world. And for the best part, we're doing it using a disruptive business model that for the first time treats municipalities as strategic partners rather than customers. In fact, we put our money where our mouth is and actually sharing the revenues that are coming from the private sector with our partners, with our municipalities. We have the best team to accomplish this mission.
1 minute left.
Thank you. The best team to accomplish this mission, backed by US investors and partners. We're coming from different backgrounds and bringing complementary skill sets, both in the technological and business aspect. So I want to leave you guys with 3 questions or 3 asks. If you're a city official that wants to transform its city into a truly smart one and doing it while generating new revenue streams, please come talk to us afterwards. If you're a private company that wants to get access to the highest level of urban data, please come talk to us afterwards. And if you're a partner or investor that's interested in the most valuable commodity on this planet, please come talk to us afterwards. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Right, next I'm going to call out Sanu Musab Hijazi to present Innovation Technologies Group.
Okay. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Thanks very much. We are Innovation Technologies Group, a company from Italy. We are specialized in artificial intelligence and big data. What we do usually is go inside our customers' company, make analysis about their processes, operational processes, identify weaknesses that can be made better or enhanced, design an innovative solution for them, design it just for them, personalize it for our customers, and then develop them. This solution. We are also a company that creates products, and today I will present you our most important product that is called Ciao BI, that we developed using most recent technologies based on microservices, Node.js, Python, TensorFlow, and other technologies that now every company that would like to be modern and innovative must use. What is Ciao BI? Ciao BI, let's say, start from the meaning of the name. Ciao means hi from Italian. BI means that business intelligence. So it's like saying hi, business intelligence. Is an innovative platform focused on automation of all the reporting systems that today is a high cost for any big company. What it does, the platform, is understand human language and transform it in business intelligence and big data requests. So what you would do, it just ask, please give me my report of sales. Compare me the growth of my sales of January with February. How many devices we produced today? You need just talk like this with the platform, and the artificial intelligence already understand what you are asking and return you immediately with the data you need. Ciao BI can understand multiple language, English, Italian, Spanish, Russian, Arabic, Dutch, any language, and can be also personalized for every department. So if we have a marketing department that need to know how is going his department, the question is personalized with a specific output for him. And the platform can understand who is asking this question and read the right data and get it back to the operator. The platform owns also a big data core system that is able to connect with any kind of enterprise sources, SAP, Oracle, Salesforce, Google, HubSpot, or any kind of data you have. Also, if you have Excels on Google Cloud, we can read it. The business model of selling is that Xiaobai is sold with annual license, with a fixed fee per account, and it can understand any human language, Italian, Spanish, Arabic, any country, and also can be personalized with some language that actually is not presented. It can be used in any kind of environment, energy, oil and gas, or ECT, or health, or any environment that you are working and is not mentioned here. So I am the owner of the company and the founder. We win different prizes during these years where we developed different solutions for enterprise and government offices in Italy. And I hope I caught your attention. So for any contact, please drop us an email. And I am here today and tomorrow in Smart City Barcelona Fiera. That is a beautiful event. So thanks very much.
Thank you. Right, next up we're going to hear from RCE Systems, presented by David Herman. David Herman. Okay, we're going to move on to Ampere, presented by Alvaro Banús.
Thank you. How it works?
Bear with us 1 second while we load the presentation.
Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for being here. It's a pleasure. So I'm Alvaro, founding partner of Ampere Mobility Solutions. So prior to present my company, I would like to do a little introduction of myself. So this is the second company that I launched. The first one was nothing to do with mobility. It's a lingerie company based on an e-commerce market. And prior to that, I used to work for the private equity industry. Is it working? Okay, so about Ampere. Ampere is an industrial service provider for micromobility and mobility fleets. What we do is we take over all the operations of all our customers, from charging to custody to maintenance to reparation, etc. Okay, we are headquartered in Madrid, where we started. National, we cover Barcelona, Madrid, Sevilla, and Malaga. Our first international move was to Mexico, where we already have 3 cities, which are Puebla, Mexico City, and Guadalajara. Then we launched in Peru, Lima, and followed by Argentina and Uruguay. Those are the prospect markets that we are about to launch in less than 6 months, which are Brazil, Colombia, and Chile in Latin America, and Italy, Portugal, and France. So mainly what we do is, like for example, we work with these main players in the industry. And what we do is we take over all the operations, from charging to deployment in the city to rebalancing, pickup. We do everything related to reparations, etc., etc. At the end, our added value is that we take advantage of our economies of scale in order to provide a very competitive price. I don't know if you are aware about the micromobility industry market, but at the end, the companies are suffering a lot on the operational cost. So our intention is to reduce, optimize, and offer an excellent service on everything that it is related to operations. We started in the gig industry market. Today we are providing services also to e-bikes, mopeds, and we are starting to work with 2 companies in the car sharing industry in France and Eastern European countries. So this is a resume of the services that we provide, from the assembly of the vehicles, the pickup of the different vehicles across the city with our fleet of vans, or even cargo bikes, for example, in Seville, where you have very big historic centers where you cannot access with the different vehicles. Of course, we do this, the charging of the electric fleets. This is something very important and that we take a lot about, because we invest a lot in infrastructure in order to have a very safe and efficiency charging. When you are managing thousands and thousands of vehicles, you have to make sure that you are taking care of on a good way and make it safe. Also, we do the reparation, the customer service. We test the vehicles. Now, all the industries is going to a battery swapping model. Okay, also in the kick scooter industry. We also do the cleaning, the custody, the reparation, and this is an example of our warehouse and how we operate. What we have realized with our
1 minute left.
What we have realized with our competitors, those are the standards of the industry. There is no professionalization, there is a lack of knowledge, and what we offer is at the end is we invest in capex, we invest in infrastructure in order to make sure that we are providing a good service at an efficiency level. Just to finish, since we have developed a very key role in the market, we are not only working with micromobility companies, we are also working along with the public administration, since we are the one who are executing on the field and making sure that everything is well regulated, etc. We also work with trade providers and EV manufacturers. We are in the startup area. We have a booth. If you are an investor, we are in the middle of a financial round. Or if you are a public administration or a manufacturer or an operator, please feel free to come by and we can talk more in detail. Thank you very much.
This is the last call for RC Systems. Are you with us? David Herman? Oscar Sierra Ruiz from Deep Solutions. Oscar, bienvenido. Perfect, so we're going to hear from Deep Solutions. Sí, no, estos son Deep Solutions.
Okay. Hi. My name is Oscar, and I'm a co-founder of Deep Solutions. We are a company specializes in computer vision, okay? So I hope that this presentation wakes you all up because it's going to be mainly visual, okay? What we've decided to show you here is what's available right now, what you can do with computer vision in the world in general. And I'll show you one use case later on and explain you how we integrate different parts, okay? So basically I'm going to go through a bunch of tools that we have and we use daily that we combine in software to actually provide value to customers, okay? That's it. Okay, this is not the first one. Yeah, this is the first. Okay, it's a little slow. Okay. This is what is called optical flow, okay? This is how optical flow is seen from a benchmark, very famous one actually. What we can see here is the representation in pixel colors of where every pixel changes from frame to frame in a video. So if it's red, very red, it means that this pixel goes in a particular direction. If it's green, it's a vector, it goes in a different direction. So this actually explains, it senses the movement, but it quantifies exactly how much movement there is in every pixel of the camera, of the image. This is also other algorithms available. This is only image detection. There's a number of things. There's plenty of public data sets that we can source from and train different detectors. Okay. but this is old. This is a little bit more complex. You need a detector, and you need another package, another algorithm, which is a tracker. Okay, a tracker. What it does, it relates information, so it's not as jumpy as the one before. You see, and if I can, yeah, you see this one is very jumpy from frame to frame. This one here is constant because there is a reasoning behind from from one frame to the next. There's a continuity. Then something very different would be to not only make boxes but catalog every single pixel of your image, what it belongs to. And this is very used in autonomous vehicles. They need to know exactly what you're facing, and they cannot leave any pixel at random, right? Any person crossing anything that could not be road, but it's a potential hazard. This is a demo that I like a lot. This is done by NVIDIA. It's with a generalized, with adversarial networks. They train a network to create fake fake landscapes from a little doodle, and this network competes with the one that does the opposite. Okay, and they improve each other out so that you can, just by doing a little drawing here, you can create that beautiful paint. Yeah, so it's kind of a cool technology. There's also, of course, face identification. This is no problem right now. It's been there for decades, I would say. But now we can also tell if it's a male or a female, what age it is, and if the person is happy or is unhappy, right? And this is available.
You have 1 minute left, Oscar.
Off the shelf, okay. And you've probably seen this demo that we have there in the booth in front of the chairs. And this is something that can be done with that data. You can create 3D structures on that. You can fake some videos, or you can make fake videos of somebody moving or dancing, okay? So basically, in this demo that's been shown in the other Agora a couple hours ago, what we do is we put together a tracker, an image detector, and a motion detector to actually come up with this algorithm that tracks the number of vehicles coming into this area, understanding how much they all are waiting for, and gives information so that we can predict the waiting time of somebody coming now into the line or in 1 or 2 hours. All right? Well, yeah, that's all I have for now. Thank you very much.
Right, so David Herman from RCU Systems, are you here with us? Good, David. Give me 1 second.
So, hello everybody. We are a company from the Czech Republic. We are working on the monitoring solution for traffic based on the deep video analytics. We started in 2013 with data from Sky. It's a product which combines the drones, deep AI, and trajectory-based approach to analyze the traffic. And on the left corner, you can see how precise data we are able to extract. So we provide complete speed profiles, acceleration data. We are able to analyze the interactions among the objects from the drone perspective. 2 years ago, we also transformed our solution to fixed cameras for real-time traffic monitoring and controlling, as well as for parking management systems. And we created a new tool called Flow. It's a fully interactive visual programming traffic language. So you can define whatever you want to extract from the video, and the input into the flow are the trajectories. So we are able to classify the objects, measure the speed, measure the accelerations, as well as detect and track the pedestrians and bicycles, and recognize the colors, read the license plate, extract the dimensions of the objects, and all this data is the input to the flow, which is fully interactive visual programming language for all traffic tasks. You can very easily define whatever you want to extract from the video by defining the gates, zones, motions, and you can combine these spatial filters with other filters we have, basically by wiring them into the more complex traffic questions, including the visualization, so you can drag and drop one of our widgets, interactive widgets, and create your own dashboard. So you will feel like you're inside the traffic data, and you can basically program your own smart traffic detector for whatever you need. Basically, the flow is a visual traffic solver for smart intersections, smart parking, smart building, or smart safety. And it's also the cross video analytic platform. We are able to process the videos from drones, from fixed cameras, for panoramic cameras, and also there is an identification capability, so we are able to track the object among the multiple video sources. So this is an example from the drone video, very accurate data which are often used for research purposes. This is the example from the fixed camera for traffic controlling or traffic monitoring, and another example from panoramic camera. So it's still fixed camera, but with wider field of view. The flow is, let's say, multi-platform solution. So right now we are porting the flow inside the smart cameras, but we have also the traffic embedded unit for local processing, which is capable of processing up to 6 camera streams in real time. And we have also enterprise version, which can be installed on your own servers. The flow, as I said, has also the multi-camera tracking capabilities. So in a situation in which there is more camera sources, we are able to identify the objects among the cameras and provide a complete trajectory. For example, for adaptive controlling of traffic lights. And we have several products based on the flow. So one of them is the real-time monitoring drone. So in the real time, we are capable to detect a lot of things in the aerial video. The second product we have is for parking detection. So it's a complex solution for parking management, also based on the video analytics. So we can create your own parking rules based on the time.
1 minute to go.
Or you can restrict some parking spot for the concrete vehicle types. We are also able to measure the distances between the vehicles on street parking and estimate how many vehicles of each category could park there. We have also embedded solution for traffic. You can configure this unit via the flow interface. This unit is capable of processing up to 6 camera streams in real time. And it's basically born for integration with smart city platforms or smart traffic controllers. And if you want, you can test our platform at your own videos. It's a cloud-based solution, so you can record the video by your phone or action camera, send it to our platform, and type in your email, and you will receive the traffic data in a few minutes. So that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, so last but not least, we have Drive Trust presented by Tolga Varro. I'm just going to load the presentation. So I'm going to give this to you. I'm just going to put your presentation in order.
And the camera?
Yeah.
Is PowerPoint better or PDF? Yeah, let's take the PowerPoint. Yeah, it said we should came at 4, but apparently it was 3:30.
Sorry? Say that again.
We should. I saw in the mail or something said we actually brought the file at 4, but that was late. She said. This is the correct one, yeah?
time zone. Hello everyone, my name is Tolga Varol. I'm one of the co-founders and CTO of DriveTrust. I'll start with the problem. And I'm so sorry for the unsettling image, but this is the reality. In many countries, almost all countries, it's happening all the time. Accidents, it causes lives, it causes injuries which are permanent, and it's one of the biggest problems of traffic. Our solution for that is an AI camera, a connected edge AI camera that can detect driving behavior, which provides insights to fleet manager to react in quasi-real time. And on the long run, to train the drivers to be better with positive incentives in a quiet GDPR compliant and private way. So the fleet management system is composed of three main parts, three key points. The first time is real-time alerts. Basically what that is we help fleet managers set up alerts. For example, with the camera, we can detect facial expressions without saving the person's face and what's happening outside the car and the vehicle's dynamics and the context. And based on what's happening, if the driver is smoking and drowsy at the same time, and if he's going with 90 and following the car in the front with within 30 meters of distance, which we detect with our camera on the device, the fleet manager gets an alert and it can intervene so that no accident or incident happens and nobody gets hurt. The second part is driver scoring. I know scoring sounds a bit scary, but it's basically tells about the skill sets of the driver and how it compares to the others around. And the important part for that is not to label a driver with a score, but to see how the driver is improving in different aspects. For example, in distraction behavior, in tailgating behavior, and so on. And to enable that, we offer fleet managers and fleet operators different positive incentive schemes. Finally, all these result in cost reduction and operations for the traffic. I mean, of course, the most important part is the social impact, but we are B2B, so in terms of that, there's tremendous cost reduction in terms of the insurance fees, which are negotiated annually, in terms of eco-friendly driving, in terms of wear and torn effect on the vehicles, and in terms of accidents. So far, the traction is we raised a seed fund last year. We have our first pilots. In December, actually, it's a bit postponed. And we're actively talking to investors and paid pilot customers. We're planning on going to market in Q1. We are fundraising, but I won't go into details that much. For the revenue model, basically, we will start with sales. Then we have a freemium cloud subscription, which is supposed to turn into a revenue-making subscription. And eventually, the data we collect is valuable for insurances and autonomous vehicle developers. And that will be a larger part of the revenue stream in the longer run. We are part of a big industrial consortium. We're backed by EIT Digital, which is funded by EIT, which is, I'm supposed to say this, I'm sorry, which is part of European Union. We're partnered with IMEC. It's a hardware institute. CRF is Fiat's research institute. GFT is a consultancy firm, and ID4Car is in France. It's a mobility ecosystem. They have roughly 200 companies which are looking for innovation, where ID4Car provides that. And in total, some 30 people have been working on the project full time, and that's the context. Roman and I are the co-founders, and we are mostly technologists with business experience. 1 minute left. Thank you. And the team, Luca is here, and we have a few excellent colleagues, which we're hoping to continue for a long time. I don't think there's questions, but I think I have time. No? No? All right. Yeah, so feel free to visit DriveTrust. Our booth is over there. If you're interested about talking about the technology or just want to drop by, feel free to join us. Thank you.
Great, so that concludes the presentations for today. Thank you so much for your attention. We've seen some really fascinating projects, all very innovative and cutting edge, so it's been really, really enjoyable to watch. If you'd like any more information about the startups that you've seen presenting, you can find the startups just to the other side of the cafe there. And if anybody'd like any more information about Connector Startup Accelerator, please feel free to come and talk to me. Thank you very much.